Welcome to Mornings with Patricia. Happy Monday. Today I want to talk about spiritual intelligence. And I'm going to be reading from an article in the Huffington Post and taking you through some exercises that I just think it's really phenomenal. It's very breezy this afternoon on a Sunday afternoon. It feels so good after all the warm weather. I was thinking about spiritual intelligence today. When I say spiritual intelligence, the reverse is not spiritual ignorance or spiritual dumbness or whatever it is that you want to call it. The fact is we can't help but be spiritual beings. That's what we are. We're human beings. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So, spirituality, whatever that means, is really our natural state. But it doesn't mean that we don't experience some amazingly big human emotions and experiences as well. So what I'm really talking about with spiritual intelligence are really great tools that you can use to kind of understand or bring yourself into an awareness of what you're experiencing rather than judge it. Right? Because that's our thing. We say, if I'm having this, then I'm really off center, or I'm just not feeling centered today, and then we get ourselves all wrapped up in that, and it becomes a whirlpool of these huge emotions that just seem to take over us. There's all levels of spiritual intelligence. What I mean by that, I don't mean one's better than the other, but there's all levels of awareness. So sometimes, when you're in meditation, that's one sort of spiritual intelligence, and that's one sort of way to access the information, and it's a very good way to access the information. But what I'm talking about are tools that you can use when you're not meditating, tools that you can use during the day, tools that you can use when you're at work, or you're outside in the garden, or whatever it is, in the grocery store. Whatever it is, these are tools that you can use and access your spiritual intelligence. What is the point of accessing your spiritual intelligence? Well, it's to bring your awareness to a point where you're not going way over in your emotions, so that you can kind of bring a balance. If you want to call that centeredness, whatever you want to call that, that's great. But it's about bringing yourself into awareness and your emotions and your life and everything into balance. Because balance is what it's really all about. I was just trying to think about what I wanted to say about that, because somehow I think people are led to believe that unless you're happy and joyful and all those things, that you are off center. It's simply an experience. It's very hard to really think about that, or to wrap your head around it, because sometimes these things feel so big, they feel so huge to us, and they just take over, and then we're in that sort of whirlpool or cesspool of judging ourselves, and that takes us absolutely nowhere. So I'll read from this article. It's called Emotional and Spiritual Intelligence: Keys for Accessing Your Full Potential, by Philip Montrose, and this is co-authored by Jane Montrose, who is also a holistic coach and trainer. What I don't have is, the date of this article, so I apologize for that, but you can probably find it. It's a Huffington Post article. So the step one they talk about is to begin to turn your attention to something specific that makes you feel stressed. Okay, so just take a moment and think about something that makes you feel stressed. And usually, it's interesting, this is an easier go-to point than the opposite of something that makes us feel happy. So, okay, so, the key, they say, is to isolate the thoughts and feelings you have when you're stressed. So stay focused on that, and and watch how we can turn this around. So you ask yourselves these questions when you're feeling stressed. Physically, how does your body feel? So allow your body to assume the posture that feels most natural in this stressed state. Okay? And then also notice if you sense any tension or discomfort in your body when you feel stressed and where you feel it. Right? So, for example, is it in your stomach? Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your heart region? Is it in your knees, your hips, your feet, whatever. Just notice where it is in your body. Okay, take a second and just do that. Okay, good. Just note that, all right? And then second of all, emotionally, how do you feel? Ask yourself what emotions correspond to this stressed feeling. So, for example, they give, sad, angry, frustrated, and they're not trying to influence you on this. They're just giving you examples. So, just think about emotionally. What emotions correspond to this stressed feeling? Just take a moment and do that. Okay, good. Very good. All right. Third question is mentally, how do you feel about your possibilities in life? Another way to say this is, how bright does your future look when you experience this stress? Okay, good. You got that? Good. And then finally, spiritually, how do you feel about yourself and your heart? Okay, so again, remember to respond to how you feel about yourself when you feel this stress, they said. And the key here really is to stay focused on the effect of stress on how you feel about yourself. So spiritually, how do you feel about yourself in your heart when you're stressed? Just take a good long moment to think about that and feel that. Okay, now you're probably in a state of perhaps despondency, feeling kind of down. Now we're going to turn it around. So just take a few deep breaths now. Nice deep breaths. And allow your mind to relax. That's good. Obviously you don't want to do this while you're driving. So as you continue, they say to breathe and relax a bit more. Just go ahead and turn your attention to your heart. Now focus on something that gives you a heartfelt joy. All right? Something that makes your heart sing. And it might take a moment to come up with something. That's okay. That's all right. Don't worry about that. Just what makes your heart sing? Maybe it's a person in your life. Maybe it's something you love to do. Maybe it's a place you've been. Oh my goodness. That kind of made me feel stressed. And I'm not going to edit that. You see, so we had some things up on the picnic table here, and Spirit told me, oh my goodness, the cats are going to get up there. You need to put those down, otherwise they're going to fall. And I don't listen to Spirit. With my spiritual intelligence, that's what happens. Okay, but the kind of cool thing that happened right there was, you may have been struggling a little bit with finding something that makes your heart sing. So now that moment has been totally annihilated, go ahead and right now, think about something that makes your heart sing. All right, very good. Now, physically, how does your body feel? And allow your body to assume the posture of whatever that feeling is. That feeling that makes your heart sing. Okay. And emotionally, how do you feel? What words correspond to this emotion of making your heart sing? Is it like happiness? Is it like excitement? Again, not trying to choose the words for you, but to give you an example of what. Is it feeling hopeful? And mentally, in this state of your heart feeling like it's something that makes your heart sing. Um, oh, I just went through emotional. Mentally, how do you feel about your possibilities in life? So, how bright does your future look right now when you are in this state? And spiritually, how do you feel about yourself in your heart? Begin to, just remember to, respond on how you feel about yourself when you feel this heart singing emotion. Just try to stay focused on the feeling of that and how you feel about yourself spiritually. Now, this is something we didn't do on the first one because I really didn't want you to go there, but you can do it on your own. Now, we're going to measure your aliveness. Ask yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 how energized you feel when you focus on your heart singing, right? So 0 is no energy and 10 is fully energized, okay? And how excited you feel about the life you're creating. You can also do that aliveness scale with stress. You see, that I just didn't really want you to go there, just for the sake that this isn't a long enough video to really kind of pull you out of that. So the point of exercises or tools like those are to measure and to check in on your awareness. You see, our states of emotion and our states of awareness can be really quick. It can be really long too, and for some odd reason, and maybe it's because we're on the physical plane and energy vibration is much, much lower, because, as spiritual beings, we actually vibrate at the energy of light. So, okay, so amazingly, you can just notice how quickly you can transition from that. I hope maybe walk you through that if you were kind of in the doldrums or if it was just an exercise for you. I hope to walk you through that. But this is a tool, a very effective tool, one of many, that you can use on your own. Just to notice, look, you're experiencing a state of being, you bring your awareness to it, you can change your state of being. You can change it. You can change your experience. This is totally accessible to you. It's totally doable. And if you engage with this, amazing things happen. Okay. So, thank you for bearing with me. And I hope you have a magical, marvelous Monday. So 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! I love myself. I love you. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.